Fire away.
So this feels a little bit like deja vu.
Yes.
Talking to you around this time last year,
Yep.
looking for some answers, and the upside was you found some, right?
Found some.
So do you feel like maybe you can do that again this year?
I feel like we're finding the pieces to put in better ways. What I thought was we had to kind of make some adjustments to it. The first half and the second half was obviously different in the last game, so we got to continue on from the second half and actually start faster. So we are finding the right pieces in terms of how I can protect people, but ultimately it came down to execution. We just got to execute better, first starting up front with the D-line and then moving back.
You did make a couple of personnel changes.
Yeah.
A couple of starters were a little bit different with Chisholm and I think Keyshawn. How much did that help? And obviously you put Carson in the starting line 3 games into last year. I mean, how much can that kind of stuff spark our defense?
There's still room for that. Depending on the calls and how they fit. We're really, much like last year, we fell into a very specific type of defense again, where certain guys can only do certain things. So as you look forward to this week, that's what you're going to actually see, a little bit more changes so we can protect some guys and then we can probably put them in better positions to make plays.
And both Anthony and Keyshawn, even though Keyshawn's played, obviously got wiped away, but both getting into the backfield, getting some pressure.
Yeah.
What did those 2 guys specifically do to, at least start to generate some pressure for your defense?
Simplify. That's probably the first thing. We were trying to carry over from last year. The package was just too much. So some guys that should be on the field, I couldn't get them on the field. They're making some mistakes during practice. So it really came back to me. So being able to simplify, get those guys on the field, the guys that actually have the ability to make plays, and now moving forward, really simplifying that as well. It would actually get more and more simple. So the playmakers can actually have an opportunity to make plays. So you guys can see the athleticism that they carry. So we just got to make sure the calls fit so that those guys can help expose other guys. And then on the back end, just being able to protect how they're attacking us.
You guys were able to get some stops in the second half.
Yeah.
How do you, especially after that first game, how do you try and tell the team, hey, we can do this on a more consistent basis? Yeah,
it's really, first off, it's fundamentals. Our fundamentals got better starting up front in terms of the defensive line play. They're getting better. We still need to improve on that, but even more so understanding the scheme of it. There are certain schemes that we are better at, so we have to live in that and understand what are the stresses of that scheme. If they hit it, they hit it. But for the most part, if we can keep everybody in front and inside, it allows more people to make plays.
As you look at the run film, if you had to diagnose between pre-snap and post-snap, where would you say most of the issues are as you go through it?
Post-snap for sure. Post-snap for sure. So pre-snap, we got better in the second half, and that's as little as alignment, more so than assignment. Post-snap, when the look in terms of expectation changes, that's where we're getting beat in terms of our true fundamentals. So expectation of, and then something that is done opposite, they're still playing the expectation as opposed to adjusting toward within the play. So it's really right now it's post-snap.
Is that eye discipline?
It definitely is. It definitely is. And again, it really starts up front. So and then moving forward to New Mexico, this is a multiplicity offense. I've actually worked with the offensive coordinator in my first job at Western Illinois. So everything has to do with eye discipline. That's fun that you said that, because for us, especially at the defensive end spot, that'll be it. So we got guys that can make plays, but if they don't go through their eye discipline, we could actually be a liability to our own defense. So this really will come down to defensive ends playing with good eye discipline.
Are there any freshmen on the verge, since you're simplifying things?
Yeah.
Any freshmen who might be able to break in the rotation?
Yeah, there are some guys that I'm trying to find a spot to get them on the field. One would be 41. He has another athletic ability that you guys have seen during camp, but you just got to be spots and when we can put him in to give him the best chance. But those will be part of the guys, and then allowing when the defensive line can play a little bit better with the fundamentals, our linebackers can start to play a little bit faster, and get to the reads that Carson did on his own. We got to kind of manufacture that now, trying to beat Carson to the punch as opposed to his natural ability of what he did. So it starts up from inside. Those 2 guys got to be way better than they have. The defensive end has to be really, really disciplined this week, and then that'll allow the majority of our linebackers to make plays.
Grant Bucky move to offense? We saw him in the pass catching rotation.
He's doing both. He's trying to help us on both. So, the guy's so valuable for us, and he has a tight end background, so he's helping the offense on that side, and on the physicality, we just can't replace. So he's taking reps on both sides.
As far as just the difference in the way, obviously similar in the fact that you guys obviously got off to a slow start.
Yeah.
But last year you had so many guys who were already in the system for
Yeah.
multiple years.
Yeah.
Whereas now you've got so many guys who are in it for the first time.
Yeah.
How do you, make sure that these guys, stick with it and keep their confidence up?
That's the best question. I mean, that is it. That is it. How do you keep the confidence going? For us, it'd be success on the practice field right now. But that's what happened. When you have 11 new starters, 18 guys from different schools, that's what's going to happen. The first game, it actually revealed a lot to us. And then as you make adjustments, you still got to build confidence in what they're doing. So why are they doing it? That's the first part. And then the second part is them understanding the roles all have changed. So as long as they can fulfill their roles, the confidence will start to build again. Some might not like it, but they know if it is truly for the benefit of the team, then that's what they got to be able to do.
How have you assessed the secondary so far this season, and what do you think they need to do to kind of take the next step?
Yeah, they're playing great man coverage is what I think they're doing. For me, what the next step is how can I protect them for the answers? Obviously, we've seen the answers that people are trying to expose. So what calls can I make to help them over the top and those types of things? So it's just a really good change up of what we can do with man and zone that can help protect us. We just got to be able to beat the opponent to the punch. They're one step ahead in terms of exposing the weaknesses of a coverage. And for me, the play caller himself, knowing the person that we have now, I feel good about knowing when to protect them and how to protect them.
And how much of, just getting off the field on third down, how
Yeah.
much of it has to do with first and second down? Not
Everything.
sitting in,
For us, everything, because of the guys that we now have that can have the pass rush that we want. We need the negative yardages. First down is by far the most important for us. If we can maintain second down, then we can bring guys on the field. It's when they shorten the sticks and it's in a 2nd and 5, it's in a 3rd and 5, then we're stuck in a personnel, which again, I don't think the advantage tilts to us. Now we got to execute as opposed to getting guys that can be difference makers. So first and second down is everything for us, this week especially.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.